time for your favorite podcast, The Musicians Talk Show. Here's your hosts, Dallas Dwight and Matt Tolley.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Musicians Talk Show podcast. It's episode 90 episodes deep, dude.
Oh, man, that means 10 episodes away from 100.
And I'm Dallas Dwight.
And I'm Matt Tolley.
And this is episode 90. I was thinking the other day that it's episode 90. They're roughly an hour each. We have 90 hours of content,
dude,
of just us talking about who knows what, because it was over 2 years or 1 year or whatever.
Sure.
So, or, yeah, 2
well,
years,
it's definitely
right?
going to be about music, at least in some relation. I think we get off topic from time to time, but I think people
I would say
could
it's
take
probably
our,
like 85-90% music.
dude, I bet people could
10%
take our
of it,
voice
you know?
now and just make us say whatever they want because we've said
Like they do
enough
with Rogan.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, yeah, like they do with all the Trump now. They do the masher of puppets, or like they'll take like Trump's voice saying these words and they'll make them to a whole song, like Masher of Puppets or a Pantera song.
That's insane. But I'm saying, like, when
It's hilarious.
with Rogan,
though.
there's basically, I don't know what the program's called, but it's basically Photoshop for voice.
Right.
And they made it sound like Rogan was saying
that's
things
the-
that he's never said.
Yes, that's the
He was
really,
just describing a story that he's never told.
that's
Like, it
the
was
really
something about
powerful.
a monkey or
That's a
something.
really powerful one, because when they do like what I'm saying, like with Trump voice, they take chops of
Right,
like,
right. And
he
it's
said
very
the,
obviously
he said
like,
that,
yeah,
and he's
yeah,
like, oh,
Yeah,
he's
yeah. No,
different
but this
octaves and-
Rogan himself posted it. You probably saw it.
I might have.
And he posted it himself and was like, "This is fucking nuts."
Yeah, because
Like,
that's the point. You can't trust what everything what you
he's
hear now.
listening
you know?
to it like, I've never said this in my life. And
Exactly.
this sounds exactly like me saying it.
And that's scary, and he's letting people know, because he's like, listen, watch out for
Yeah.
something that you may think I said, but I didn't say.
That and,
Because that's a powerful thing when you're
coming,
somebody
yeah.
that's really I would say he's a social icon. I think like a lot of
sure.
follow him and listen to what he says. So if he is seen saying something that he didn't say, he could get really freaked out. You know, it's powerful.
It's a
powerful.
sticky situation.
Yeah, I guess we're susceptible to that too. But luckily, we don't have any clout, so nobody's gonna be like super hurt when they find out somebody faked our voices.
Yeah. Or maybe they will. I don't know.
Who knows?
I'm going blast.
Like, Matt said, "What?"
Yeah. Wait, who's Matt?
Yeah, Matt who?
So we have a weekend review for you.
Oh yeah. So Be Sharp show coming up this weekend. We wanted to have the guys on the band on the show beforehand. It is not going to look like that's possible.
Really? It's next weekend?
Everybody's schedule. Yeah, it's next weekend. Everybody's
23rd?
schedule is so hard. Like they're flying in and out of town and stuff like that, business stuff. So it's really hard to get everybody together. I think we should have one on maybe afterwards at some point whenever we can.
It usually works better in smaller subsections.
Exactly,
But any
exactly.
group of them that
Exactly. We'll get the most talkative ones, you know, that want to come in and talk about how it went and everything. So it'll be fun. But yeah, so that's next weekend. So we're practicing our asses off, trying to put the last little final touches, make sure arrangements are all tight. Everybody knows what they're doing. If there's anything we can do better, you know, kind of putting the final touches on it.
So
But we're practicing in the National Room today at the Playroom. Cool. So they rented out the front room, which you can do by the hour, minimum of 3 hours. And it's, you know, surprisingly affordable for a real life. If you want a band practice through monitors and you don't want to have to bring a drum kit, because right now we practice in B Sharps with an electric drum kit. So he gets to practice on a real drum kit like we'll be playing at the show. I'm not really sure what the reasoning behind that is, why he doesn't practice on a real drum kit.
Probably just ease of
learning parts and lots of things like that. So, so that'll be this will be like a real test. And then next weekend, we're also going to get together probably one more time the day before the show and kind of just tighten up everything, run through it all maybe. Yeah. And I mean, it's Amos's, you know, it's a big deal. We're taking it seriously and we're going to rock the house. It's going to be fun.
Nice. What is, so you're new to this kind of cover.
Yeah,
band,
I know.
right?
Yeah. I do not do variety cover bands. And
so what is like, what's your favorite song that you guys are doing?
You know what I like
to
actually?
play, not to just listen to.
Yeah. I would say that either. All right, so actual like just playing guitar style wise, I like the Evanescence song "Bring Me to Life."
Oh, okay.
I really like that. I was like, "Den it." You know, like cool kind of rhythmic, and it took me a minute to figure out the timing of it and all, but I got that down, and I like that one. But also as far as just like fun songs to play, "Beverly Hills" by Weezer. I did not think I would like playing that so much.
It's an F, right?
It's in it's like so first fret, you know, the whole time. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. And the solo's all down on
exactly. So it's that's fun though too, but it's just easy. You know, you don't have to think too hard on that one. You know, if you know
That's a
Key
good
or-
song. I like that.
It's
song.
a great song, and I recently did a little research on Weezer and their kind of their band career, and it's interesting that the singer, blanking on his name right now, but had an issue with the fame that came with being in this band or whatever, and really didn't like some of the backlash he got really hit him hard. Rivers Cuomo. So he had like a really issue when he became like super famous or whatever, and didn't really like it. So there was a bunch of like basically in hiding. He went in hiding for a while, came back, put out another album. Then everybody hated the album. So he's been dealing with like public backlash on and off, you know what I mean? And doesn't like the pressures of society. He's just trying to make music, you know? And he's a talented, like a lot of people think his music's simple, but he's a very talented guitar player and can really shred, you know? So it's like, I forget what their history is as far as like he used to be, like maybe he's a music scholar or he was just in a cover band and played like all kinds of music and could prove that he really could play, you know what I mean? So I think that's
a good way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they wrote like simple music just because of the style of music it is. It's pop, you know, genre music, essentially pop rock, I would call it. But it's fun, man, and the lyrics are cool. I like it.
I've never cared whether music's simple or complicated.
Well, it just is a good song, right? Yeah. It's just got to be a good song. It's got to make you feel
my only
good.
questions are: do I like it, and does it make me feel good?
Exactly. That's the best way to go about it. Because it's not music.
I don't
is
worry
not
about like,
formula.
it's good, but it's only 4 chords.
It's not
like,
a
dude,
formula,
who cares? Like,
right? Right. It's like so whatever makes you feel good. I mean, you can listen to that. You know, like this new. I guess the only name for it is the genre called mumble rap. I don't know, but you listen to it. Like, there's no rules to music. Like, it is what it is, and people like it, man. People love it. So, I don't know. It's just interesting to me.
Yeah. Just as soon as you think you know.
Right. Like you've mastered the guitar, and it's like, yeah, well, we don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, shit. Damn.
Oh
it.
yeah, I know. I've done cool, flashy stuff on guitar and watched people just like look away.
Yeah.
Like look at their phone.
And it's different.
And then
people.
I've played the simplest 2 chords, and people will be like, "This guy's fucking incredible."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. People pick up on the weirdest things, you know, and you
because they don't have any barometer for what's good or bad guitar playing.
Exactly. Well,
they only know what most people say, which is like Jimi Hendrix is the best,
or Eddie Van Halen and like Slash. Like those 3 people, I think, are the commonly like looked at as the best. That's funny.
Which is very weird because how did they get branded that way? Because lay every guitar player in the world out on the table, they're not even in the top like 50.
Is it record labels building
like,
up their image? Is that what helps? Like, is it they really, because somebody took an outside look at it and goes, all right, what you're doing is good. Here's what you should keep doing and whatever. And somebody gave them that branding like knowledge basically and how to brand yourself and make yourself notable.
Thinking
character.
about who Slash seems to be as a person, I doubt he was listening to what anyone was trying to tell him about branding.
Might be, yeah, that's a good point.
When he was coming up and all of that stuff would have been really important, he was on heroin, not giving a fuck about even the guitar.
Right.
You know,
right. That's interesting too. Like, but I do think that maybe
I don't know Van Halen's story, but I'm sure it's similar.
I'm sure he was told things like that little clip we were watching. I'm sure he was told things where he says like, all right, I'm not going to say anything offensive or whatever, because I want to make sure we get on MTV or whatever they're trying to do at the time. I forget.
Yeah.
But it seemed like he had some kind of like thought at least about that in his head, and maybe somebody was saying like, all right, just you can say something, but don't swear, don't do this, don't say anything about drugs.
That's so weird to me because everything I know about them,
I guarantee you a lot of it is persona. It's
is
like,
that as soon as someone would have said that to them, they would have done the complete opposite just because.
Well, and he did. Essentially, he went out there and said, fuck you. He goes, this song's not about drugs, sex, or anything like that. And he said, this song's about having a good time or something like that. And he said, this song's called Night Train, which is all about drugs and sex.
Why is anyone letting Slash talk at all?
Exactly. Well, it was funny. I mean, and everybody did like kind of look at him as like the cool guy in the band. So if you do want to hear from him from time to time.
I think that's because he maybe didn't talk.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I mean, that's one of his strong suits. What I was going to say. I was going to say that's his strong suit as far as keeping his cool persona. You don't open your mouth and say too many dumb things that piss people off. You're generally going to stay in their mind as an image, you know, and he's an image. Like, Slash is an iconic image.
Yeah, I think the biggest level of fame you can get is perhaps when your silhouette is famous.
Yes, that's pretty crazy. Like the curly hair,
draw
top hat.
The silhouette, and it's like, oh, that's Slash.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, I don't even think you can do that with Jesus.
Exactly, exactly. So anyways, that's just, I don't know how we got off on that as far as branding, but.
So then we're back to the B sharp thing. So what are some of your like least favorite songs?
My least favorite songs. I don't like the Lemonheads cover of what's the song called? Mrs. Robinson. I really don't like that song. I'm gonna play some lead at the end of that song, but I'm not like learning the whole song structure for structure. I'm gonna go get a drink in the beginning of that song, come back on stage, and then play the guitar solo at the end of it, and stay hydrated. You know, I need to stay hydrated.
What about what song like really surprised you? Like, oh, I thought this one was gonna be easy as shit.
Yeah,
it's not as easy as I thought it was.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. Just All Star by fucking Smash Mouth. Everybody says it's an easy song, but if I'm not accustomed to playing guitar in that fashion, like the way it goes about like chording the higher end of the strings, just like all those bottom time chords and kind of a what do you call it, spanky sound. That's not my style generally.
I love that they do the tritone in the chorus. Dun 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 dun.
The little arpeggiated notes too are
super
cool.
fun.
Like they do it cool, and there's some interesting things about that song. So, you know, I don't know. I guess I dig it now. I didn't really like it at first, but I learned it, and now I'm like, okay, it's not hard. You helped me with it a little bit too on the chord shapes. I was doing like a small I was doing small versions of it, like the 2-note version of those chords, and you were like, just add the root note. You got it.
Yeah,
so that helped. That helped a lot. Actually, makes it sound way more full.
Those are fun little things.
Yep. And so we're practicing the National Room, and I'm going to actually bring in the little Marshall that I've been using to the National Room practice, and I'm going to bring that home to practice my last few practices on the amp.
Like a combo or something?
A little tiny combo, 1x12 with a 2-channel, like clean and dirty tube amp. Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
It's not a practice amp. It's
little
just
Marshall
amp.
DSL. It's a small one.
Oh no,
small one. DSLs are usually they're dual super leads, and they're usually like 100 watt amps.
Yeah.
This one's like a little guy. I forget, like 50 watts or something like that. But we're gonna mic it up at the show. You know, I'm not really worried about having a big amp on stage or anything like that.
This is better.
This band is a lot less loud at rock and roll. It's more about the songwriting,
Do they do any originals or just covers?
No, but they want to, and I've mentioned your name already, and I want them to come talk to you. I showed them the 24-hour EP. Yeah, of course, about recording a demo or an EP, at least something that they can get like their feet wet in the process, because I know you would go easy on them and help them. But they're definitely interested in writing original music. They don't know if they're ready, and I'm like, well, if you hang out with my boy Dallas, he'll fucking walk you through the process, and you'll feel a lot more confident about the whole situation. So
well, I mean, I think as soon as you can play your instrument, you're ready.
Yeah, and they're out there playing 28 song set lists, they cover, so I guess
if you don't have any songs, you might not be ready. But
right. If they don't have any songs,
if you just even have like a little bit of ideas, it's easy to finish them up.
Exactly. If they play around their guitar, find a little riff here, a little chord progression there, whatever that they like, and then want to put some lyrics over it.
Yeah.
And then you could walk them through that recording process and demoing a song out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
love
sure you
doing
can
that.
help. Yeah.
My week in review, we played Trailhouse on Friday.
Yeah, I heard that was cool.
It was really fun. It was wild, dude. There was a lot of people there, and they were all going nuts.
Nice.
And I'm starting to realize that when we play now, more and more people are there for us.
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
All the servers in the entire place, and it's a big place, were wearing LA Maybe shirts.
I saw that on the picture. That's
Everyone,
really cool,
we had a whole like slew of like people right down in front of us that were like singing all our original shit.
Nice. That's perfect, dude. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for, is positive signs that you're doing the right thing and you're doing something that could be successful.
Dude, Purple Rain brought the house down, dude.
Yeah, I know, man. It always gets me going too, man. Every time I hear you guys play that
song is so powerful.
Of course. And if you do it good, man, that's important. Like I've heard it done so badly so many times that it's super good it's extra good when you hear it done well.
Mm-hmm. Daryl gets a ton of compliments too. People are always like, man, you guys sound awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's all Daryl.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, most bands in here sound terrible, but you guys sound really good.
There you go. That's good, man.
And Daryl took a quick little video because so many people were dancing in front of us, like slow dancing in Purple Rain. Like the dance floor was packed.
Nice.
So I leaned over to him and I was like, get a video.
Yeah.
So he took a little video of it, and just watching the video right before you came over, I could, like, the vocals are pristine, crystal clear.
Exactly.
You can hear all the instruments. It's just like,
it's good, man. I know you guys have always
very, very
it's
good.
easy when the way you guys do it too. Like you guys have a good setup, man, and the method's down. Like how many shows have you guys played now? That perfect
40.
That setup,
40 this year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's a great start. Hell yeah.
First year playing 40 shows.
Perfect. And that's awesome, dude. You guys probably banked some good money in that.
Yeah, I have a number. I'm not going to share it with.
No, we don't.
I'll share it with you, but I won't share it with anybody else.
We don't need to. But that's
it's
really
a shocking
cool
number. You're like, holy shit, we made that much money this year.
And it paid for your gear. It paid for like lots of startup capital that you needed. Band merch.
It paid for a lot of stuff. Yeah, and we don't pay for anything. Our whole trip to DC was free.
Perfect.
Paying for the recording time up there was free. Free to us.
That is the benefit of doing what you did as a capitalist.
Yeah, it feels really good. Learning all those covers, playing some of those shows is not as fun.
It was,
but it feels really good to be in DC and be like, we can go stay at the nicer hotel. Let's go out to dinner. Let's do this. Like it's all like not even going to even put a dent in the bank account.
That's great, dude. That's excellent. That's what you need.
So
there you go, man.
It was very nice. And we did have a good time in DC, despite all the nonsense.
Making your living on playing music,
Yeah,
now
the downside to having some debts owed to me for like making the tracks and all that stuff. So, and then having to pay off other this and that and studio time and all that stuff is we did not pull in like a lot of money ourselves.
Right.
The band made a lot of money and then the band paid off a lot of expenses.
Exactly right.
So we ourselves didn't walk out with like big fat paychecks, but we did that this year strategically so that 2020 we're going to play even more shows because we have all this momentum built up,
and
we're going to not have any
pay
expenses.
The band members. Right.
So we're going to be hoping to take in like hopefully double the money.
Right.
Or, at least,
stepping it up, playing more shows
and then be able to put all that in our pockets.
That'd be really cool. Any of it.
There you go, man.
It's a plan. It's a business plan.
That's the long plan. And it's hard. I'm really proud of us because it's hard to have a plan that's like a year, 2 years long and actually see it through. But when you get like, we're approaching the end of year one and the plan's gone according to plan.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here like, wow, we did it. Like this is what we said we would do. And we're sitting here having done it. So, and in the middle of doing it. So
that's good, man. It's reassuring,
The next big purchase, as soon as this check from Friday clears, we're buying our new PA system.
Oh, nice.
So, and it's going to be really, really high quality active, 2 subs on each side and two tops on each side. It's going to be insane.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're looking to do the same thing. We're upgrading our PA as soon as we're going to get some word from a contact that we have. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to say anything.
Nice.
But hopefully we get some kind of hookup because of Kyle's amazing performance in racing this year.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
So then we're also supposed to have a gig on Saturday. And if you know anything about us, you know that one got rained out.
Yeah.
Dude.
The weather has been shit.
We're the gods of rain. If there's an outside gig that we're playing, it's raining.
Coming towards you.
It's raining, dude. I don't think there's a gig we've played this year outside that it has not rained.
Damn.
Every single one.
You know what? The one gig that you played at the college that I was at,
Didn't it rain?
For. Yeah, it rained.
Yeah.
At the end of it. You had to like bundle up really fast.
We played this college gig. That one rained.
Yeah.
We played this other gig in Rock Hill on Halloween. That one rained so hard that we were shoved into this bar.
Yeah, I remember that.
We tore the roof off that bar. We were way too like loud for that bar.
Right.
And we're playing Guns N' Roses. We're shoved into the corner, like all touching each other because it's like a long rectangle.
I remember the story. Yeah.
Poured rain. We had to load in and out of the rain. This past gig got rained out and canceled.
Yeah.
All festival gigs. I think we played 3 of them. One of them got rained out and rescheduled.
Right.
2 others got it rained, but not hard enough to cancel. Like literally every outdoor gig we've played, it's rained.
Yeah,
this year.
That's crazy.
And it's not like it rains that much. It just rains when we have an outdoor gig.
Right. Look on the schedule. What's the forecast? Look on the schedule. Find out when Ellen Maybe's playing.
Oh, if you want us to play your outdoor gig, I'll tell you the forecast.
Yeah.
It's going to rain.
Exactly.
So prepare for that.
Exactly.
All right. So, that's it. We don't have much else. We didn't have much else going on this weekend.
No, I'm in love. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm in love with this bass guitar that I found.
Oh, that's rude.
Yeah, dude.
Don't call her a bass guitar.
Oh, it's not. Well, I don't know if it's. Well, I guess it is a her. All guitars are she's, but no, dude. I found this.
How do they make more guitars?
All right, so check this out.
Okay.
Well. Yeah. No, I'm not going to proclamate. What's it called? Procreate. I mean, not proclamate. Procreate with this bass guitar, but I am going to.
Yes, you could.
Dude, what would it look like?
That would be like
a long neck. Me with a really long neck. No. So
giraffe mat.
No, so I've always loved Thunderbirds, and I came across this vintage Japanese copy of an early Gibson Thunderbird. You know, they basically copied the ideal year of a Gibson Thunderbird, and it's all black too, which Gibson didn't even release one in all black. And if anybody knows anything about me, my favorite color is black.
Even the backs of it and like the sides
everything
and stuff, it looks
black.
so good.
The neck is rosewood, and I'm gonna stain it. It's a dark rosewood, but I'm gonna stain it black too. Because I have this oil stain for fretboards.
Oh, okay. I kind of like the rosewood, but yeah,
it's a light rosewood anyway. So I just want to black it out. But man, I got to figure out how to get it. I hope somebody else doesn't scoop it up before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
it looked really cool.
I'm interested in it. I can't believe I found it. It's the same year I was born too. So it's like one of those things. I feel like it's calling me.
Mm-hmm. Wait, that's when it was made?
It was made the same year I was born.
Which was what?
89. So it's a 30-year-old bass.
What if you came to find out it was made like the same day you were born?
Oh my God. No.
When's your birthday again?
August 1st.
That's right.
Yeah. So late year, but and it's also like just happens to be like the serial number is 89 for the year. 7272. And 72 is the number that I raced when I raced go-karts as a kid, growing up.
That's going to be the only serial number you know. Dude, I can tell you my basic serial number.
It's K897272. And dude, it's the most expensive one on there, but it's like so clean for a 30-year-old guitar. It's unbelievable. It's like, I got to buy this thing. I think it's the perfect bass for Prep and Barium.
It would be.
I think
agree.
So. I think Drew would rock the shit out of it. Anyways.
How's that going? How's he doing with everything?
Do good, man. We had a practice yesterday that was a lot of fun. We just got together to write, just to spend some time like coming up with ideas. And, David.
That reminds me, I'm going to add something to our
David
list.
is a maniac as far as like just constantly writing and, or as far as coming up with ideas, not like writing, but like he comes up with ideas nonstop and like at the drop of a hat. So we come up with one guitar part, he's in it on the second time through, so, but it is tough to, for everybody to get on the same page and like it's easy for a drummer and a guitar player to connect and write some stuff really quick, but then everybody else to try and follow what's happening at the moment. Like we're making it up as we go.
No time to practice it. Like,
there's no time like that. It's like, okay, I see what he's doing there. And you have to be able to do it like on the first try. And that's not easy. So it is kind of like just a lot of, everybody kind of talking, like trying something, talking about it, trying something, talking about it. And I don't want everybody playing the same thing anyway. So my whole thing is like, you're looking for something that complements it. Don't just try and play exactly what I do. Try and find the notes that I'm landing on, any notes that are, the prominent notes, and try and back them up and beef them up. Try and come up with rhythms that go behind it, So there's a lot of playing around. And it's a little frustrating sometimes when it's loud in there and nonstop. I recommend everybody like wear earplugs during that kind of thing, In my opinion, I think that helps.
I prefer to do my writing sitting right here.
Yes, and I've
is never loud.
I've done a lot of writing like that too, but now my computer's down. So we're gonna try and create music in a room together, and then put the ideas down later. You know what I mean?
That's how all the best ones did it.
We're gonna try and like record every writing session so we can go back and pull from those. Using the GoPro and whatnot. And that seems to be pretty good. The footage that we got really turned out cool. Like as far as you can hear everybody in the room. And you could see who's playing what and like all that. So GoPro footage is simple. And I showed you my method of just uploading right to Dropbox. Super simple, right from the GoPro to my iPad to the Dropbox.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to try that's another thing we should talk about is like moving towards video on this podcast is something we've wanted to do. And we're getting close, I think.
I think we are.
So I'm, figuring out more video stuff all the time.
So speaking of writing sessions, we'd been talking about how we can do more like writing and creating, because we have 4 songs right now, and we have a lot more in process, but not a lot done. So
what's your writing process?
We don't have enough music to play an original set right now. Like even we could maybe do 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is not,
but you guys
most of them are going to be 30 to 40.
But you guys could throw in any cover. So you guys are kind of have that filler material, but
we
you
could
want
do covers
for
4 hours. But the problem is when somebody wants you to, when you're playing with like 5 other bands,
right?
And they're all playing originals, and then you're the guy that plays 3 covers. It's like, oh, come on, dude. Like,
right, exactly. So, so how many songs do you guys got coming down the pipe right now? And what's your writing process like?
We have 2 coming out early 2020. I think we're going to have 1 come out February 21 when we do the Guns N' Roses gig. Another one going to come out in May-ish, I'm thinking.
Okay.
And then we're going to try to go down to Florida and hit the studio for in the summer for something that hopefully comes out kind of towards the end of 2020.
Like an EP or like
five songs, I think is what we're thinking. So, and we have a lot of new stuff and a lot of different stages of completion. But we were talking like Bold Music, the company I teach for, just got this software to teach video lessons for like makeup lessons
like
and stuff.
Streaming online?
Kind of, yeah, like, Skype basically, but with a lot more functionality for like, you can write tabs on the screen, like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So anyway, we've been talking about using that for the band for writing sessions. So like me, Rasan, and Daryl, like once a week calling in and
everybody has the capability, so you guys can just do it from your bedrooms.
Yeah, and all 3 of us have studios, so I could be like, all right, Daryl, go record that part. I'll record mine. Rasan, you go record yours. You guys send it to me when we're done, and we'll be done.
That could be really efficient. That could be really efficient.
So it's gonna be super fun.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to hear more about that.
Yeah, that software's cool.
What's that? What is that software?
It's called Zoom.
Okay, and it's online. What do we need to know about it?
Zoom video conferencing. They use it at Berkeley, where I'm.
Okay. Oh, right, because they do online lessons on Berkeley.
Yeah, so this is what they do for their live classes every week.
Okay, excellent.
But it lets you do like
video webinar.
It's a lot more. It's like
meetings.
Skype, but then you can do a lot more extra stuff with it that I don't think you can do with Skype without a lot of like third party stuff.
Very cool, man. Oh, I'll have to look into that. It's really neat.
So you can do like, let's see here. I don't know. Their website's too
We have, like
too corporate for me.
right.
Can't find anything.
I want to talk David into moving closer, but if if we had to, if it was going to be an issue all the time, like that would be something interesting.
Yeah. So the reason I came up with that idea is because I was thinking like, the reason we're not being as productive as we need to be is because we don't really spend that much time together. And when we do, there's always something going on. Like we don't like hang out and write. We hang out and go play gigs or
rehearse
or like whatever.
Right. We're scheduled to practice from 3 hours for this 3 hours, and then we go home, and then because we have other things
everybody's like, all right, we gotta go. All right, I gotta go. See you guys later.
All hustling.
Like,
everybody's hustling.
It's not like, all right, we finished practicing. Let's hang out for 2 hours and
we have the same problem. We have the same problem in our band. Like we have a hard time really hanging out sometimes because everybody's busy doing things. But it's okay.
So if we can I figured if we could eliminate the travel, that would open up our schedule a lot more.
Yeah,
if we could get 2 more hours, for an hour there, hour back.
Right.
That's the whole time.
Like me and you, when we have to talk, sometimes we just hop on Discord and we'll have a chat there or whatever, or an idea. We can voice chat there, or we can post like written ideas or whatever, pictures.
I actually really like Discord.
Me too.
But so we decided we're going to try that out, we're going to see how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get the rest of our band on Discord. It's not a bad idea to keep our band chat on Discord. We want to start doing video. We talked about that a little bit already. Episode 100. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that because we had a lot of ideas. We were talking back and forth over lunch, and decided that we would just kind of brainstorm it on air.
Yeah.
If any of you guys want to weigh in, feel free.
Exactly. And Discord's a good place to do that. Instagram, Messenger, whatever, however you feel like you can get a hold of us, Facebook, Live, everything like that. But episode 100, we're trying to do a kind of
10 weeks.
Yeah, it's 10 weeks.
So almost 3 months.
Exactly. So we want to do like a collaborative with our friends and guests that we've had on, not interview guests, but actually guests that we have on the talk shows with us. Right, co-hosts, exactly. And we will probably do several groups of people, we're thinking, so we don't have so many people on at one time.
Yeah, I didn't want to have like 6 people on at once, so we might do 3 or 4 different groups of like 1 or 2 people.
Exactly. So and then we can do those like they could be 30 minutes to an hour each episode or whatever, depending on how long we need. But then our episode could just be a long episode if it has to be, like just and there's no set time or anything like that. But I don't think we should cut time spent reminiscing about basically the entire series so far. We shouldn't cut it short just because we're trying to get within an hour, especially if we're gonna have 3 groups of people potentially.
I don't think you worry about time.
Yeah, so this will be a long episode, and there's nothing wrong with that. We'll have a long feature 100 episode. But the big thing is, and I think we've already talked about this, is making it video.
Right.
I think we should film each one of them and try some new techniques potentially to switch over to film in the near future. If episode 101 is not in film too, like don't sue us. Obviously, we're trying it out.
I don't think you'll win, but
exactly. So episode 100 will be potentially in video with all our friends, and you'll get to put a face to all the guests and co-hosts we've had, including us. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we post our face on Instagram from time to time, so hopefully you know what we look like. But it'll be fun. I think that everybody has really cool personalities that we've talked to, and there's cool things about each and every one of the people we've had on. So it's gonna be fun.
And we had talked about you just brought this up right before you hit record. But
dude, this is a crazy idea, right?
Yeah. What if we did not a 24-hour EP, of course, but like a song.
Right.
In a certain amount of time with each of these groups.
We decided it's hard to dedicate that 24 hours this year. Like everybody's schedule's so packed with all the projects and stuff that 24 hours, like literally, first of all, you're cutting yourself from sleep. So that it kind of wrecks you for like 3 days altogether. So we decided we're not going to do that, but we might do something like this. Like we'll have 3 groups of
we're not going
people.
to do it this year.
No.
We might do it next year.
Okay. So you're saying no way this year.
For the 24-hour EP.
Okay, right. But
the way you said that made it sound like never 24-hour EPs again. We might do one again.
No, but what I'm thinking is,
I think we should.
Since we can't do it this year, though, that's what we decided.
Right.
This
but this could be a cool.
Could be a cool makeup kind of way to do it. That's a good clarification because basically, like each group of people that we would have on the podcast for episode 100, each group would make a song, one song. And then this isn't like a make as many songs as you can in 24 hours type thing.
One song.
But it is like a you don't bring anything to the table. It's literally you get together, somebody starts playing something, and everybody works into writing a song. And we could set those groups up of our guests to make the best results as far as like what we think would make a cool, like we could have Rasan on bass on this one, or we can have Drew on bass, or we can have Drew on drums. Like we have some talented, multi-instrumentalists even, singing. We could
Matt
pass off
Cullen,
singing. Huh?
Matt Cullen.
Matt Cullen would be awesome. Yes. So we can mix up the groups, try and figure out how we want to split them up. I think that'll be a fun episode for 100. And just to come in, maybe like each episode is segmented, like or transitioned by the song that that group wrote or whatever, and that's kind of used as like a background, as the, you know what I mean? In the cuts or whatever.
Yeah, the logistics we'll have to figure out.
I know, exactly.
That's we want to present the whole song, right?
Definitely. So maybe play the whole song. I don't know.
I think it'd be cool to record them in like a real live, organic way too.
Yeah, like at the Playroom. Like everybody meets at the Playroom.
Oh, for sure. We should do this whole thing at the Playroom.
Yeah.
You know what would be really nice is if. You know what's fucked up? This basically is the 24-hour EP that we were talking about, where a bunch of different people come in at different times.
It's kind of is working back around.
Because I was going to say, like, what if you and I just stayed at the Playroom for 24 hours and just had all these people cycle in and out?
Yeah, but we shouldn't. I don't want it to be a test, because that's the hardest part about the 24-hour EP is it's a test of our stamina and endurance. Whereas this would be more of like we could just spread these out a bit and just like, okay, we'll spend 4 hours, 5 hours writing a song.
Now, though.
Yeah, yeah, we have to kind of start scheduling these, sprinkling them in. Episode 100 is 10 weeks away. 10 weeks away. We have some time, but. Yes, our schedules are already busy.
I think we should do 4 groups of however many people we can get in those groups.
4 groups?
If we can.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd maybe have to look back and see what co-hosts we've had.
Exactly. I'd like to make a list of all our co-hosts and then see we could group them somehow to where we think this would be a strong group to write a single.
And don't limit it to the people that are here, because we have, Danny from New York was on.
Right. That could
Ben
easily.
from Virginia.
Yeah, that could add and stuff like that. Send us tracks or whatever.
Sure. Danny got his own studio that's super kick-ass.
Yeah, see, that kind of stuff would be really cool. So we need to come up with ideas like that. And I think episode 100 could be a fucking, a really cool step into the future, Like, first of all, trying the video.
Yeah.
Second of all,
proves we're not stopping.
That's right. No, it's definitely a sign that we're going to next year.
Not only are we not stopping, we're ramping up.
I say year, but 100 episodes is definitely not a year, because 52 weeks in a year. So 100 episodes is actually 2 years. It's
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy.
I've never stuck with anything for 2 years.
But when we set it up to do it this way, to be easy on us, and this is the way we do it, it's our flow. That's
the one thing I am worried about doing video, is it's going to become
more work.
Like a little bit. We're gonna have to block out more time on the front and the back for setup and breakdown. Yeah. Unless we find some sort of place where it can stay.
That's what I'm wondering.
Which is really unlikely, I think, because then where are we gonna do it that's free? Or do we pay for a play?
The Playroom, I think we could potentially do it, man. If we
I love
set
the Playroom,
it up right.
but that's a setup and tear down kind of thing,
Kind of, but if we made the setup and tear down pretty harmless, or pretty chill as far as just not talking.
I really want to get some arms instead of these kick drum stands for the mics.
Yeah, but these are good though. I mean, they really do.
These are nice
job.
They kind of topple a little bit if you hit them wrong, and then you have this long arm that's kind of
and they're not noise I think the other ones are noise canceling kind of thing, like the noise
you can move them.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, anytime you move it, it's just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, exactly. You hear all this rumbling.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but so that's the idea. I think,
and we need another one of these,
another SM7,
because anytime someone else uses another mic, it's so wildly different.
Yeah. I know. Yeah,
I think Rasan has one. He might let us borrow for his episode at least.
Yeah, perfect. He can bring his own mic.
These are not terribly expensive. $400 brand new.
Yeah, these are the beta ones.
So the SM7B.
Yeah, SM7B.
It's the only one they make anymore. The SM7, I don't think they make anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
that's just what everybody calls.
That's part of the thing, man. It's this podcast costs money, and that's why we're always trying to get our patron episode, our patron stuff going, so that way we can better bring these episodes for everybody and add more content. That's what we're trying to do. We're building content. So
yeah.
This episode is really, not episode, I keep saying that. This podcast, it's really coming into its own as far as our style and our, and what we do. And as we get, more followers, it's more incentive for us to push harder and bring
and I love having the interviews, but I also love having control of, we can do an episode with just you and me. We don't have to wait for someone else's schedule.
Oh yeah.
We don't have to panic that we don't have a guest like we did in the beginning. When guests started drying up, because they always do.
Yeah, of course.
Unless you have a team booking for you, like some of these people do.
Sure.
But it's really panic. Oh crap! We have no guests. What do we do? And we just decided we're just going to talk.
We can make subjects that are engaging to people, hopefully, and on the same level as what people deal with at home. Trying to be in a band themselves, and what steps we're taking to better market ourselves, to better make our profits work. And if anything's an example, I think the LA Maybe have done an amazing job of showing you that you can make a living with your music, and you can really bring in some good cash, and do it well. I think they've got the best fucking business model. I think Dallas obviously is a big part of that. you are obviously a big part of that. And, you know what I mean? Like, I think you're an example and a model for that. So I feel like that's one of the biggest things people can get out of the show is listening to strategy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then
picture stuff.
And we bring up all kinds of things like, as far as history, what's happened and stuff like that. We're always comparing like how things are changing, trying to find the direction of the trends, you know what I mean? And how things are going. So, you know, and that's why it's kind of
but even stuff like new guitar pedals.
Exactly.
You know, like,
oh yeah,
we're all over
that. Yeah, exactly. We're all over the spectrum, I think, of like what a musician would talk about, because we're guitar players, we're singers, I mean, obviously you're a producer and engineer. So we're always talking about gear. We talk about everything, and we are very DIY. So I think that's why we're most suited to do this. You know, if anybody ever questioned why am I listening to these two idiots? Well, the only thing I can say is that because we're in the middle of this and doing it. And I feel like me and Dallas have always had good conversations about it.
But you don't have to listen to these two idiots.
No, you don't. Absolutely. Remember that. We don't give a fuck.
Listen to whoever you want.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but like I've always, when we started talking originally, like we realized that we both get off into the same kind of tangents. Like we both have the same thoughts about music, and we're
literally
thinking about
the reason you're sitting here right now and the reason I'm sitting here right now with you is that we would have these conversations anyway.
Exactly. And you were like,
I was like, I've been wanting to do this podcast again. Why don't we just record them? Every now and then we'll get a guest.
That was perfect,
and I feel like you're someone, I felt this then, and now I know that you're someone that I can actually like stick with.
Yes.
You know, like we both work well enough together that it's not like, oh, I can't make it this week.
Yes.
I've explained 3 weeks in a row, and then, oh, dude, I'm out. Like,
I've explained it to other people too, that I think our work ethics line up. You know what I mean?
Because I've always been used to working with people that are like, you know, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like,
trust me.
Me too. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like,
trust me. I know.
You know?
Exactly. So it's hard to find dedicated people. And I feel like that me and you line up on that. And, you know, we live our lives this way, and we're trying to, you know, actively make music our income, our main income. You know, if we got to both make music and pay all our bills with it, dude, that would be a dream, because it would be like, we're doing what we're going to do anyways. We talk about it all the time. If you do what you love already, you know what I mean? Then you're already winning, you know, and then you just have to figure out how to better make money on it, you know, because it's obviously a skill. Like we could talk about musician versatility too. Like it's because I kind of forget about this myself. Once you learn an instrument and you learn a craft like that, you could apply it in so many different ways. Like you could take just the motivation and the mindset that it takes to get good at something like that, get good at playing guitar or good at writing songs, whatever, right? You take that motivation, that style of thinking, and add it to anything and learn anything you want. You know, you could apply that. I guess discipline. Discipline is what it should be. The word is what I was looking for. So as a musician, you know, being versatile, you can apply your creativity, that you're constantly exercising your ability to focus and pay attention to something for a long time. I always find that that's a test in itself. How long can you play guitar in one sitting?
Yeah.
Because it takes, you know, like a little bit out of you, and you eventually will get like a little, I wouldn't say bored, but you're just like, okay, I need to take
step away.
Yeah, I need to take a break.
Sure. I think it's that way with anything though.
Exactly.
Like if you're working on spreadsheets or whatever.
But you learn that from guitar, and I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I learned, that because I do it so much, that I learned that, okay, like everything takes, you know, you need a break, you need a little like breather, and you need assessment, you know, like that kind of thing. Takes breaks to assess your progress, what you're doing, what you're actually, you know, focusing on, all that, you know what I mean? And
sometimes I've heard that I think it's Stephen King or some author would set timers to work, which is a popular thing. People do that all the time. But he would stop wherever he was when that timer went off. If he was in the middle of a word, he would stop and walk away.
Wow.
And because the idea being, and I've tried this and it works, is that if you finish what you're doing, you feel like you're done and you don't want to come back as much. But if you're in like the middle of a cool riff and you stop and you're like, I'm done, and you walk away,
you can't stop
you're
thinking
super
about
excited to come back to
it,
like when it's time to go, and you jump into it like that much faster.
That's really interesting.
And you can do that like at the end of the day and like take the night off, or even just like if you're doing like 15-minute break or whatever.
Dude, that's really interesting.
But like if that timer goes off and you're like, oh, let me just finish this lyric line, and then, you know, or whatever.
That reminds me of kind of the wake yourself up in the middle of the night and write down the first thing that comes in your head.
Dude, I told everyone.
It's so weird.
Everyone on
things.
Friday, I told that too. I told to do it. I don't know if they did it yet, but
who like your lesson?
When we were at the gig, we were just like, we were talking with a bunch of our friends, and I told them all to do it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like
did you do it? What did you write?
I don't remember now. I did do it.
Ashton drew a picture of a ring. This was in college. He drew a picture of a ring that looked like a second grader drew it. Whoa. And then he wrote something like, "Where's the ring?" or something like that.
What? That's so crazy.
Just like, what, dude? Like,
You know, like I guess the concept behind it being that like how you can't remember your dreams sometimes. Like you go to sleep and you dream the crazy dream. And you're like, whoa, I just had the craziest dream, and literally it starts deteriorating as soon as you're trying to recall it. You're trying to be like, okay, now what was happening? I was doing this, and you remember like one little thing, but the rest of it's just gone. You can't figure out how you got there. What was there was more dream. You know there was more dream, but like where did it all go?
I think I had a dream last night that you were in, and like the band was there, and we were in some like sort of rough area. And like some weird stuff was going down. And Foz was like, man, I wish we had Matt. I've seen that guy go nuts. I know he would keep us safe. And then I remember seeing you, and you had this like, it was a knife, but it was really more of a sword.
Okay.
And it was like sticking in the back of your pants, like where a gun would go.
Yeah, that wasn't a dream. That really happened.
And I just remember waking up thinking like, I think Matt's killed people.
Nah, I've never killed anybody. Never had to. Just intimidated him real hard.
I was like, we need to hire Matt as our security guy. He will cut a bitch.
I can talk myself out of some crazy situations. I remember this drunk guy was harassing us one time. I was on a date actually, and met some friends out. Drew was there, and we were at the bar, and this drunk guy comes over and starts yapping at me, and he's like about dumb shit. Like I think he assumed I was in the band that was playing that night, and he just starts like telling me these stories, just like. That didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, why am I hearing this story right now? I don't know you. You didn't introduce yourself. You're just telling me a story right now. And so I kind of looked over him and I said, hey, man, I'm kind of in the middle of a date right now. I was like, you're really making this hard for me. Like, I can't even talk to this girl. And you're like over here yapping at me. And he's looked at me like he paused. And have you ever seen like a drunk person like contemplate what they're doing?
You can watch them.
You can watch him like go through his head. He's like, what am I fucking doing? And he stepped away and he goes, oh yeah, sorry about that, man. And it was so funny. And Drew comes up to me afterwards and he goes, dude, that was so awesome. And I was like, what? I was like, he goes, I thought you were going to get in a fight with that drunk guy. I was like, why would I fight that drunk guy? I was like, there's no way I wanted to fight him. And it's, it's not that I couldn't fight him. I mean, if I had to fucking fight him, I would, but I don't want ever to escalate into that.
I'm not looking for fights.
I like to just be really friendly and like tell people, how I perceive what they're doing and trying to let them understand themselves. Like that's the only way you can reason with people.
Yeah, that's a good point. They got to
understand. Yeah. Understand it for yourself. What situation we're in right now. And he was absurdly obnoxious. You know what I mean? It was. I probably.
What do you mean? He was a drunk guy.
Yeah, I undersold it for sure. He was like,
they're notoriously normal and chill.
Yeah. So, anyways, I wouldn't fight anybody, but I'll talk him out of it. I'll talk him to death. Dallas.
I just. I know. That's why we have a podcast. I just figured out what day, and I probably figured this out 10 times now, so I marked it in the calendar.
Episode 100. Yeah.
Episode 100 is coming out January 27th.
Perfect.
So we will have to figure out
New Year
when to get
together. Yeah, we could do it in the beginning of January.
We could start December and then through January, depending on people's schedule, because you're going to have Christmas and New Year's throw everything off.
Of course.
So we could get.
We're talking about like 4 hours potentially to get together, write a song.
It'll take more. 4-hour blocks. I see.
To write
we'll need
songs.
4 of them, so we need 16 hours of time.
Yeah,
and we could do it in. We could do 2 in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could do.
That's a good point.
Like
8 hour day.
Like a 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then take a break for lunch and then come back for like someone else.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Because that'd be nice. Because then we wouldn't have to set up so much at the playroom.
Exactly. Because we've got to do as much as we can while we have the setup.
Yeah, and some of them are going to be super easy to do. Like if we do Kyle and Drew, we can do that like tomorrow.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Those guys are.
But others are not going to be as easy, especially if we're working with people out of town.
Let me find a date for Kyle and Drew.
We should get Harry on one somehow.
Dude, that'd be great. It'd be great because he did he did the little drum session at the Playroom when we did his interview.
Mm-hmm. He recorded the drums for the old theme, not the one you guys have heard.
He's the original drummer for the theme of Musicians Talk Show. Yeah.
Yeah. How awesome is that, dude?
That is awesome, dude. He's an awesome drummer. I love watching him drum.
There's not a lot of drummers you hang around where you just realize like this guy's got it.
Yeah.
Like everything he plays feels great.
Right.
It's not that it sounds good or is cool or flashy or whatever. He can do that stuff too.
Yeah.
But it's just like every time this guy's playing, I'm like, I want to play over this.
Exactly.
Like, this is perfect.
Exactly.
And I know he got that because he's done the Nashville thing for so long.
Yeah.
That he was describing to me at one point, maybe on air, maybe off, that when you're the drummer in a band where Luke Bryan, for example,
right,
it's his name, it's his band, it's his group. Your job is to make it so that he doesn't even know you're there. It just feels so perfect.
Exactly.
That he's not even thinking about like, what the hell's that drummer doing back there?
Exactly.
Like,
it's just
too fast. I can't sing the words right. Like
he's doing the right thing. He's serving the song.
They're all on clicks. So
exactly.
Anyways, that's enough about episode 100. We're going to plan that out for you. Do you want to talk about?
If anybody has any ideas, chime in on Discord or Instagram.
Sure, absolutely. If you're not on Discord, join Discord.
Join Discord.
You can go to musicianstalkshow.com/sign up, I believe.
Yeah, there's a link right there for you. So
Discord, for anyone that may not know, is basically just like a chat room app.
Yep.
Where you can sign up to what they call servers, which is like we have a server. So you'd sign up to ours and then you're in our chat room.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. It's like servers is basically like a chat room essentially, but there's lots of different ways you can chat. There's different subject matters. It's almost like a
we have like sub pages for like talking about gear, talking about the show, talking about whatever else.
Yeah, it's almost like I forget what it's called now. It's not a blog, but a server. Not a server, but what is it called when it's like everybody can kind of there's. A forum. That's what, sorry. It's almost like a forum, but it's prettier than a forum. It looks nice and it's fun, man. It's a good way to talk.
Forums are really ugly. It's a good point.
Yeah, there are. They've always been like very listy. Everything's a list.
It looks like it's like a WordPress site. From
it looks like you're going to your Dropbox, dude. Dropbox looks better than forums.
Dropbox is pretty. I like Dropbox.
Yeah,
especially if you hit it up on the web. Well, let's update everybody on the concept album because we had an epiphany before we started this.
Yeah.
So do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll start. I'll just say that we knew that this was going to be hard and be down to crunch time. So we were like really stressing how we're going to put in a shitload of time on this album and just try and like rush it through. Neither of us want to do that. We want to make this thing that's like as much time as it deserves, and it's sounding great so far. So we're definitely looking forward to making it continue to sound great. But we do want to get you something a little earlier than what it would take to finish this thing, we think, in our minds. So we are going to break it up into 2 pieces. And we're going to try and release the first 6 songs first with basically an overture at the beginning of each, what we'll call an EP.
So we're going to have...
Is it going to be more like an EP?
I think so.
Like 2 EPs?
Yeah, so the concept album, which was going to be 10 songs, is now going to be 11. And it's... going to be split up into part 1, which is going to be 6 songs, 6-song EP, and part 2, which is going to be a 5-song EP.
Right.
And part 1's going to set up the story and leave you at a certain point where you're going to be hopefully wanting more.
Exactly.
And part 2 is the conclusion.
That's another interesting thing is how we separate them. We immediately knew that was going to be something we had to focus on. We can't just leave you with nothing. So it's just part of like another challenge as far as the writing challenge of it all and how it should flow together and for the listener. So hopefully we'll be able to successfully, lead to an epic type conclusion, but also cliffhanger in some way, and then ready you for the next half of the story.
What is song 6? I'm looking here.
Yeah, it's Ghost Find Pro Tags.
Okay, this is the one.
Our storyboard we have.
Synth, the bam, bam, bam. That one.
Right. So it's a really cool like I don't know, like an alarm sound. Yeah. So it's kind of cool, like almost epic, like climax, and then we'll figure out a way how to end it and leave it and it'll be ready to flow in right into the next part. So the next part though is going to start with the overture of the next part. So it'll kind of give you a lead in to what that next half's going to sound like, Each one of them is going to have their own overture, which an overture, if you haven't been following along, is actually the sum of all these songs kind of put together in a medley type form where they're all pieced together in parts of, you hear themes of one song that are in the half of the record basically. So I think it's going to be fun. We'll get to make 2 overtures and split it up and get something done hopefully by
I think beginning of next year or we can have part 1 done early 2020 for sure.
Yeah.
We're close on part 1.
Yeah.
Part 2 we're further away on, but if we release a part 1, I don't feel as
I feel like we got something out there people can dig into a little bit and then be ready for part 2 when it comes out. So we talk about this all the time. This is the
really
trend.
Good too. We're not trying to just
that's it. We could
throw
force
something together to hit it.
Yeah, we could force this and make it 24-hour EP style and literally get this whole thing done in 24 hours, but it would be rushed and might not sound as good as it could.
And what we have so far, I think, is great.
I do too. I'm really excited about what we have.
I'm excited to put everything together and hear like a really good finished product,
dude.
Especially if you like metal.
Yeah, exactly. If you're like metal concepts, man, like Dream Theater type things, or I'm trying to think of like other really good examples. I like Liquid Tension Experiment. Like they're
Tool
kind of
does a lot of stuff.
Tool, obviously.
Queensryche has probably the most famous concept.
Yeah. So that kind of idea, and we've always admired that stuff. So we're gonna make one that's the to wrap back around to why we're doing this all, to kind of just write something off the bucket list, I guess. Like, does it feel like a bucket list thing for you to like? I've always thought like a concept album would be a lot of fun to delve into.
Well, it's definitely a massive accomplishment to do any sort of album that's like 10 songs
and all flowing together and telling a
solo
story.
album that was 10 songs long. that was like a big accomplishment.
Yeah. I feel like we are at a stage though where I mean, maybe I don't, don't condemn me for saying this, but like a prolific stage where we're constantly putting out material, and we have
this every week. We put an hour of content every single week.
And this keeps us going too.
And this is just on top of that.
Exactly. So, I mean, obviously always writing in other projects. I've just undertaken the giant cover project thing for myself, which I've never tried to do, never really had interest in doing. I really kind of did this as a favor, and I don't mind doing it with people that I like. But so as far as like just learning and stretching our legs, this is like huge, I think. And now we're ready to do something like this concept record that seems like a massive undertaking, but it doesn't seem like it's out of our reach at all. Like I really am so excited for it.
Yep. And we have that cover song we're going to do at some point.
Yeah, exactly. We voted on it. We figured it out. It's the Fitz and the
no, it was
Tantrums.
The Florence and the Machine.
It was Florence and the Machine. That's right.
Fitz and the Tantrum was the other option.
The other option. It was the Florence and the Machine one, which I was happy about.
Shake It Off.
Shake It Off.
Shake It Out.
Shake It Out. That's it.
One of those.
It's Shake It Out.
You sure?
I feel like
maybe
Shake It Out's an old song. I think Shake It Off
go either way. Shake It Off is the Taylor Swift one for sure.
Oh, well then I'm
gonna play.
You know how I love T-Swift.
Shake It Out. Okay, Shake It Out.
Okay, so there you go. So Shake It Out is a cool song. I always thought we could do a rock song version of it. Really fun, like cool style.
And you guys voted, and that's what you voted for.
And that's what we're gonna do. We are gonna do it.
Forgotten.
No, it's taken us a long time.
There's no deadline, but we have not forgotten.
Exactly. We never said we'd have it to you this year.
or even next year.
We'll see eventually. No, we're gonna do more covers. I think we should keep endeavoring in that. It's fun.
I mean, at this point, I think a decent goal for the concept album is to have part 1 out by January or February.
Yeah.
And have part 2 out by summer.
Yeah. That's a good goal.
That's a reasonable goal.
And very,
very achievable.
Achievable. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's written. I mean, it's there. Like the idea is there. So
yeah, we have the outline of everything we want to say.
It just needs to get worked on.
So then, and then I definitely hit a creative roadblock as far as creating instrumentals.
You had a spurt too, though. Like there's still plenty of music to write. It always
comes in spurts. Yeah. So like we're in the drought right now, but the rainy season's coming.
Yeah, we'll be ready soon.
That's kind of how I work on big projects like that. So I don't stress about it so much anymore. Because when I feel like the creativity is kind of drying up, and I keep trying, that's when I write stuff that I'm just like, this sucks. Like,
yeah.
But then if I'm patient, wait it out, go do other things, every time I come back, it's another creative, spurt where 5 songs come out in a week or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, you can't control inspiration. It's kind of like it builds in you, and then it comes out when it comes out. It's almost like, trying to think of what it would be like, builds in like, I don't know, like a baby, like a male baby. I have babies all the time. I get pregnant.
I know exactly what it's like.
I get pregnant when I date girls and they break my heart.
Right.
They get me pregnant with an idea, and then I churn it inside me for a while, and I play my guitar, and then eventually it comes out as a song about some girl that I used to love.
This is a graphic metaphor.
Hey man, life's graphic. Hey, so you want to talk about my new little venture?
I want to talk about the name of my new graphic novel, Life's Graphic.
That's a good idea. It's right on the nose.
Yeah.
Life is graphic. It's a graphic novel.
It's not on the nose so much as a club to the face.
Totally. The facial reconstruction.
All right, let's talk about the metal guitar. I'm super pumped.
Yeah, this is my... Okay, so
this is sitting behind me still?
Yeah, it's back there. Underneath my backpack. You put it underneath anything, you can't break it.
So I'm working the tank.
So I'm working at a fab shop now, and one of the benefits of working at a fab shop is there's scrap material everywhere, and I get my 15-minute breaks, a couple of them a day, and my lunch break and stuff. And I've been kind of visualizing this metal guitar, this steel Les Paul, basically, and I was like, yeah, I think I could do it. And basically, in about we'll say I've put like 10 days of my breaks into it, like just a little bit here, a little bit there, 15 minutes at a time. I've built this Les Paul steel frame body, and I'm really close to having like a full guitar. But the interesting thing about this is I kind of came up with this on the way I've just making it. I was just like, oh, but I can make the whole top removable, and I figured out a way to do that. And one of the coolest things about this is that, in my opinion, is that how like when you want to swap pickups in a guitar, you have to disconnect all the wiring and all the have to disconnect everything and pull it all out.
Well, I know you have to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a pain in the ass.
While I stand by and watch helplessly.
Exactly. And one of the cool things about like Fenders and stuff like that is that they're all mounted. The pickups and the knobs are all mounted in the pick plate.
Pick guard.
Yeah. The pick guard.
I did. So the white Strat I got a loaded pick guard with
exactly.
Seymour Duncans. They sound really good.
Hey, of course they do.
You know what I really wanted though?
I
wanted the EMG, the David Gilmour one.
Yes,
dude. Those. First of all, I love the way they look.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, those have such a creamy sound,
and they're active.
But they're active, right?
Yeah,
I think they might be passive.
They might be. They make both. I'll
look that up while you continue talking.
Yeah. So this would be similar to that, in that the pickups and the wiring would all be literally in this metal top, and the whole top would unbolt from the body and separating the guitar, and then the neck is going to be wood, obviously. But I really have always been looking for a way to do what I want to do for a living, and kind of be on my own schedule. If I could build guitars, which I have proven that I can do. Obviously, I have several of them that I built, replicas of famous guitars and whatnot. If I could come up with my own design and start a new venture of business for me, yeah, they are active.
That's weird because I would have thought.
Yeah, he's definitely a passive type player, but I think they...
not even that. I was going to say, I would have thought it would have said active somewhere. It doesn't say it in the title, in the description, nothing.
Interesting.
But then you scroll all the way down to the tech specs and it says active, like really small font.
There you go.
So they are active. But yeah, I mean, EMGs, they pretty much are known for active pickups.
Yeah, that's what they do.
They make passives, I guess, but I don't really know anyone that plays them.
Yeah, they... I
just love to look at that like brick.
Yeah, one of my guitars that I did buy that had EMG passive pickups on it, I didn't like those pickups. So
really, okay.
They just don't,
But see, here it is without it's still the EMG thing, but it doesn't have the plate over it.
Right,
and that's pretty cool.
That's cool. They make a natural looking guitar.
I love the dark maple neck. Mm-hmm. So when we move to video, you guys are going to be able to see us.
Yeah, also
talking about all this stuff.
We'll pull up things that we're talking about because. That's a big part of podcasts nowadays.
Nice guitar.
You watch any podcasts on YouTube or anything like that.
Show.
It is like watching a TV show. We think we can better bring what we talk about to a visual experience than we can just audio. And audio is great because you can listen to it in the car. That's great. We'll still always release that, obviously. But we want to be able to bring something to YouTube as far as like a way people can see what we're talking about and see us and interact and all that.
Absolutely.
So that's the idea.
So that's going to be coming.
So the metal guitar thing though is just my idea of trying to like branch out more and use all my skills to make my income. This is another way I can use music to something I'm already doing, something I'm already passionate about is like instruments and guitars and like putting my skills that I know how to do from working. I like to get out of working for somebody else and into working on my own thing and pulling all these different things together. Using the band as an source of income, and it won't be a huge income. It won't be able to support everybody on its own, but it can support some in some ways. That's one little piece of it. If I could do music lessons, if I could do like little things here and there, I think that's something every musician should think about if you're trying to really make music your life.
So that's the life of a musician. You don't ever.
It's not one thing coming in. That's
I shouldn't say ever, but you're probably not going to have one thing that makes all your money. You're going to have 3 or 4 things that make a little bit of money.
Yeah,
and then they all add up to make what you need.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about adding one more thing that I could potentially be, I could play the guitars that I make and on stage and sell them from the stage, essentially, like, prove that they are, playing, guitars, and hopefully they play good. So I need to work on the prototype. Essentially,
good guitars that play well and sound good. I mean, they're gonna sell themselves.
Exactly. So that's what I need to work on is the design and the prototype of it all, and see how that all works out. And like we were talking about, it might take a certain pickup to complement that metal sounding top that. Who knows how it's going to sound? I don't know. So it's going to take some experimental, process, checking it out, seeing how to better it. So
that's going to be super cool though.
I know, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see myself doing different designs and stuff like that.
Here comes the yawn.
Yawning.
I think you should come up with your own body shape too.
Yes. And I was thinking headstock too. Like have my own thing.
Like Sully Guitars. Do you follow that guy?
I like Sully Guitars, yeah. Who makes his
I found him through
who makes guitars? He makes guitars for?
Who?
Buck Cherry's guitarist.
Stevie.
Yeah, sorry.
He plays this one.
Yeah, there you go.
It's got a nice headstock. I really like that. But also this one's cool.
Cool designs. He's got some nice like little additions to like traditional type designs, but like makes them a little bit more flared out. I really like that purple Explorer, and Kyle would love that.
When you like this one looks kind of like a Les Paul.
Right.
And it looks its best when it's not trying to be a Les Paul.
When it's like just painted a solid color, not trying to be a sunburst.
But like this one with the pickups and the sunburst, it looks like it's just trying to be a Les Paul, and I'm not a fan of that.
I love
like that. That looks cool.
No, the one back, one more. That's Stevie's guitar.
Cool too. That is Stevie's.
Yeah, that's the one that's sick. I like that one. The stars down the middle.
And these look cool.
Yeah, the Explorer version especially.
I like that's kind of what Firebird.
The Firebird on the left, the Explorer on the right there. I like the Explorer type shape.
Anyway, check out Sully Guitars. We're just on Google Images scrolling around. That's a crazy looking one.
Yeah, he makes all kinds of cool stuff. He's out in West Coast, right?
I think so.
Texas, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Something like that.
That's
I know he's
there,
out
though. That's Sully.
I feel like Arlington, Texas for some reason.
I follow him on Instagram. You can follow him too. He's got good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, very cool stuff. Anyway, so I have some stuff to do today, buddy. What are you up for the rest of the day? You guys practicing at all?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got run over a few Guns N' Roses things.
Oh yeah, we're doing B Sharp's final practicing, hopefully for before the week before.
I really have been having a good time with rehearsals lately because they don't feel as much like work when you're playing Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses songs
and our own stuff. And we're not using clicks and in-ears and all that stuff. So that's what I don't like doing.
Much more stripped down.
Yeah. And much easier to just stop halfway through and be like, all right, take it from the chorus,
Exactly.
Can't do that in the way we were running clicks, at least.
Right.
So
that's a good point, man. That's cool.
But yeah, so it's been a lot more fun. And Daryl's letting me use his Kotzen pedal. Have you played one of those?
The Fly Rigs? I've not played one, but I've always been a fan.
They sound phenomenal.
I've always been a fan. If Richie Kotzen endorses it, I know it's good.
Well, what blows my mind is the effects are good, and he uses it as an effect pedal if there's an amp around that he likes, I guess. Right. But then he can also just use the amp.
Go direct.
The amp in it sounds insane.
Yeah.
It sounds so good.
I think about the Yamaha THR. That's what they can do digitally now. It's amazing.
The Yamaha THR sounds good, but the Kotzen has it's got just a good vibe. You can dial back your volume and get real good tones. It's got a good clean tone. It's got a good crunch tone. You can boost it up to have leads. It's a phenomenal.
I would
pedal.
think that is definitely a prerequisite for Richie Kotzen.
And it's $329.
Nice.
I think it's that cheap.
They're super affordable. I thought they were $600 when they first came out.
I remember it being here's one on Reverb for $150. But they're $260, $230, somewhere in there.
That's a deal. I mean, that's an amp in a box, man. You throw it in your backpack and you throw it on the floor. Done.
Wait, that's the old one. That's not the new one.
That is the old one. That's one I remember. There's a new one now.
Yeah, this is the one that
V2 multi-effects.
Yeah,
nice.
This one sounds incredible, and this one is $329. I was right.
Damn, that's a good deal though.
But yeah, so when you look it up, Tech 21 is the company that makes it. Yep. Richie Kotzen's the guitar player that endorses it. RK5, Richie Kotzen 5. It's called a Fly Rig V2 is what you want.
Yeah, that's the second version.
So it's got tap tempo, delay, reverb, and then the Oh My God is a distortion. I think that's the distortion or overdrive.
His gain.
And then it's got a boost.
Yep.
So if you turn on the OMG, the boost, and the delay, you have a killer lead tone.
Right.
And if you turn all that off, you have a really, really good clean crunch tone.
That's perfect. That's exactly what a guitar player
needs.
And
this thing weighs, it's this big, and it weighs less than a pound.
So crazy.
If you're wearing cargo shorts, you can put it in your pocket.
That's so cool.
It's phenomenally good. But anyway, I said all that because we'll play this as we're packing up. But I live on the third floor now, and I don't like to haul my Kemper up and down if I don't have to.
You need something
so
small.
Daryl has this and another thing, so he's been letting me use this for the rehearsals, which is super nice. So I just show up with my guitar. Happy as a clam.
Perfect, dude. That's perfect.
Anyway, well, let's get out of here. Look up the RK5 by Tech 21 if you're a guitar player.
Yeah, that's cool. It's always been something that's on my mind.
I think you'll dig it, and it's so affordable, dude.
Yep. All right, let's get out of here.
Anyways,
later, dude.
Have a good one.
Thanks for listening, and see you next week on the Musicians Talk Show.